the myth, the legend.
What up? What up? How you doing?
Rusty
What up?
here with What Up with Rob and Chris.
That's right. Take two. Take two. Take two.
We were interviewing Rusty before. We had a little bit of technical glitches.
Yep.
We are back now with Rusty, the hypnotist, wrestler. What else?
Oh my God. Talk show host.
Talk show host. He does it all.
Yes.
He's out of this.
Comedian.
Comedian. That's what it was. Come
Comedian.
Funny.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So hilarious that he can't even figure out that his stupid phone works way better than his, I call it podcast, visual video studio.
Yeah.
Who knew?
The phone works great.
Yeah, he's got like a 8 billion K camera resolution on his phone that keeps going out. I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, that's a different story.
So how are you doing, buddy? How's it going?
Man, I'm doing pretty all right. I'm chilling out. It's I don't know. I'm in Utah now, doing the whole Utah thing.
Nice.
Salt Lake City. So I think I don't know if I had moved here yet. No, I hadn't moved here yet. I must have still been in Minnesota when that other one happened. When I was in outer space. So what the hell am I talking
right, you were
about?
out of this world at the time. So
yeah, I was somewhere
everybody
else.
that's watching doesn't have a clue what we're talking about because
exactly.
we've been through this before already. So we get to go back and retell the story, but we know a little bit more. So we got to make sure that we're telling everybody really about Rusty Diamond, the hypnotist, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go right back to the beginning and let's talk about, where it all came about, because you started off wrestling, right? Then it went into an accident that became hypnotist, right? So tell us the story.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. So maybe 2008, back in those days, I used to be a musician, very much quote unquote. My friend and I used to play with 2 PlayStation 2s. I think I told you about this.
Yeah.
And that turned into, we stopped playing music. We had all this stuff set aside, all this music we never used. So then that became a web series, which was going to be based on me starting out being a professional wrestler. And so I did that. I was a professional wrestler for maybe year and a half or 2 years training and stuff. And
what was your wrestler name? Rusty
Diamond.
But you didn't have like the Claw or
there's been many a moniker. There's been the Boogie Board King of Westland, Oregon.
Yeah, right.
I think that was my favorite one. I only used that one up in Canada. And then let's see, I've been the guy upstairs.
The guy upstairs, dangerous.
There's probably some others. What's that?
The guy upstairs.
That sounds like a dangerous person.
It was a very dangerous person. I was quite a dangerous guy. But yeah, this was before I came down and started doing. Actually, no, that was after California. I need to get back down to California. I'm not far away now, so it's becoming more tempting. But so I was a wrestler for some time, and then I wanted to get better on the microphone, so I decided, hey, I'll start doing comedy. And so I sort of fell into being a comedian. Never really super funny. That wasn't really my thing. I'd hang out at shows and be on shows that comedians would produce, labeled as stand-up comedy shows, but I'd be on them, whatever it is I would do. I'm not great at telling jokes. That's never been a strong suit of mine. But so I wrestled then, and toured all over, stupid places, cool places, places I never thought I'd go to in my life. I probably visited most every sort of fraternal organization from California up through Canada. I probably hit them all and wrestled in all them. And
That's
That works.
interesting.
Yeah.
So there was a fraternity circuit. Like,
no, no. The fraternal organizations like the
okay.
the Moose clubs, the Elks clubs, the
Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
right. That's right.
I like it.
Yeah.
But you were like going from Canada to Oakland to like in like 2 days. I mean, driving like 7 hours just to get.
Oh, and then he's got to perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like start in Portland on Friday night at about 9 o'clock at night, drive up 6 hours to Vancouver, BC, sleep there for a few hours, wake up at maybe 6 or 7 and drive 4 hours east to Kelowna, do a show in Kelowna, and then as soon as the show was over, drive back over to Vancouver, which is 4 hours back. And that would be on the, late Friday night. And then Saturday, we would do a show in Vancouver. And that would end probably, or we'd leave right after our match. So it was maybe like 9 or 10 o'clock, and then drive all the way down, pick up maybe someone in Portland, maybe not, and then drive all the way down to Chico, California, which is, I think, 13 or 14 hours total from there.
Yeah.
And then we'd usually get there about right before our matches start, do our matches, hop right back in the car and drive like 9-10 hours back home and go to work, go right to work, no sleep. Just
Wow.
so it was pretty draining. So then I ended up after, let's see, 2017, I ended up stepping in a hole at my job during the week, probably because I was sleep deprived, and ended up twisting twisting my knee pretty bad, stepping in a hole. And then that just pretty much ended everything with my wrestling. So I didn't know what to do. I became depressed, as you know, it might happen, and talked with my therapist, and she recommended me this book. And this book was about jobs for people kind of like myself. And she knew me pretty well, which was pretty cool. I was always pretty skeptical against any sort of, therapist or psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever it may be. I just never had good experience, but she's great. And she set me to this book, and I read the book in a few hours and saw one of the things in there was a hypnotist. The other was a Reiki, and I thought I'm going to be a hypnotist. So Googled hypnosis teacher in Portland, Oregon, and called the first one.
There you go.
Talked to him for probably 20-25 minutes on the phone and said, hey, come in on Monday and we'll talk to see if you want to do this class. And went in and talked to him for an hour and a half. And I mean, I've been in wrestling, so I'm thinking that most of these hypnosis and all that stuff is just a stage act. Not to say the wrestling's fake, but there's probably some trickery. But that's what I thought hypnosis was a lot of trickery, but it's really not. And then that kind of blew my mind, and so that got me to sign up for the course. And maybe he's just a great hypnotist, and maybe I thought it was really dumb going in, and that's just how good he is. But either way, I was set. I signed up for the course, and after barely squeaking through from middle school, high school, college, getting the absolute bare minimum, maybe a tiny bit above on each one of those, I was top of the class for this one, and
oh, nice.
Just got right into it. Started hypnotizing people, maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months into it, I was already hypnotizing people, and besides people in the class, because that was, I mean, every class in the training, we'd hypnotize each other at least once, if not 2 or 3 times. And so you leave class. I don't know if you guys watch The Simpsons or not. If maybe.
Absolutely, right?
Okay. Well, there was this one episode where Homer gets his, let's see, he befriends some crows and they go and they peck him in the eye, and he ends up getting medical marijuana. And he goes and he's driving down the road afterwards after he's smoking. And like, if you watch that scene, that's how I felt every time I left my hypnosis class. But I wasn't high at all. I was completely 100% sober, but you just have this, you know, people can't see me, but I just feel like I'm kind of floating on the cloud, like, you know, people getting traffic, people getting all pissed off, and I'm having a great time. I'm just kind of vibing to whatever's going on.
So is that kind of where you want people to find you as a hypnotist, is to give them that kind of relief, right? A lot of these people come to a hypnotist to get some relief from whatever they're dealing with, smoking or stress or those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
So what is some of your favorite like things that you've done, like that you've really kind of felt like you've changed somebody's life?
Sure. Well, yeah, I had a smoker who was my age, which is
Young.
yeah, you know, whatever age I may be. And so she was 8 years old when she started smoking. Her sister was, I think, 10 or 11, and she was smoking cigarettes. And to make it so she couldn't tattle on her mom, or her, that older sister was smoking cigarettes, she made the younger sister smoke cigarettes, so there wouldn't be anything to say. And so she was smoking for, I mean, that would put it right about, well, I guess there'll be some math here. So about like 30 years, you know, right around there. And I one session with me, I talked to her for probably a half hour beforehand, and then after the set, or after talking with her, she said she still wanted to do it, and I spent probably an hour hypnotizing her to stop smoking, and then she hasn't stopped smoking. She has not smoked since then, and that was
Wow.
November
Yeah.
29 or 2018,
Yeah.
I think. And so, and I still talk with her, and so that was
Nice.
that was a fun one. And then, oh, sorry.
No, I was saying saying definitely that must have been cool to be able to keep in contact with her, and you know, she's still not smoking and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now let's go into your to being a comic. How did that come about for you?
So let's see. So in like 2011, 2012, I was, maybe a year or two into wrestling, and there were two guys that I worked with there in Portland who were both, I don't know, getting scouted by the bigger name companies are there. And both of them ended up sustaining pretty bad head injuries and had to retire. One got a bad kick in the head, and the other just ended up having too many concussions. And this was after there was a guy that Chris Nowinski, he was a wrestler for a short little while in WWE. And
Yeah, I remember him.
okay, well, yeah, he was a Harvard graduate, and he ended up, I think, getting a kick in the head.
Yeah,
a real bad one.
Tough Enough too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was on Tough Enough, exactly. That's the guy. And he ended up creating a foundation, Concussion Legacy Foundation, And they do a whole bunch of research on CTE and all that fun stuff. And he made a book, and it's sort of about wrestling, but I mean, it's written like someone who went to Harvard and writes Harvard papers would write a book. So it's very, very factual, and it scared the shit out of me when I read it, because I've had a number of head injuries from growing up all through up until before I became a wrestler, and so that's when you as well.
Oh yeah, I've been knocked in the head numerous times. Same with this guy.
Yeah, we're married.
Huh?
You get you get it's crazy. I mean, like when we were kids and we were playing sports, you get hit. It's like, oh, you just got your bell rung, or
We used to call it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Got your bell.
Just shake it off, you'll be okay in a minute, right?
Why do I see three of you?
Right.
That type of thing.
Yeah. You see stars. It's like, okay, they're gonna go away in a minute or so. Just chill out for a few minutes. But then, I mean, all those little things, and anytime you're playing any sport, where if it's football or hockey or lacrosse, some sport like that, every time you hit someone and your head's rattling back and forth, or playing soccer, every time I do a header, that's fucking me up there. And so I mean, throughout all that, once I saw those two go and retire, I was like, well, you know what? I got to do a couple things here in wrestling. That was really my goal. I didn't, I had that in life. I wanted to wrestle at least once, and I put that away because there was some people who, I don't know, a lot of people said I was way too small, and I took it to heart because I was an idiot back then. And then I got to a point where I stopped giving a shit. And that's the point of life you need to get to at some point.
Right.
It's not giving a shit. And so once they stopped, I was like, yeah, I better learn how to do something so I don't have to be doing as much physical stuff. So I wanted to learn how to get better on the mics. I figure I can do more with that. If I can't do physical stuff, do stuff, not telling jokes, but getting people riled up, or making them like me, or whatever it may be. But I ended up doing that, and it was fun. It was exhausting. It was,
I bet,
a lot of nights spent at the bars, and then going after hours places, and staying up more, and that's how you schmooze around. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of politicking and stuff.
Build your contacts, you got a network, and it doesn't happen 9 to 5. It happens 5 to 5 in the morning usually.
Yeah, middle of the night, it's like, oh, hey, you're funny, like I do a show, you should be on it here soon. It's like, oh, well, yeah, okay, sure, let's do that. And so I did comedy. I still do it. I mean, it was exhausting. And then, like, after a while, then I moved to Northern Idaho for a while, and I did comedy up in that area, which was a lot more fun.
Is comedy different wherever you go?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Set it up differently depending on where you're at, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in Portland, like in Portland proper, like in the city, there are lots of things that are off topic, or not off topic, off limits that you can talk about.
They need their safe space, right?
You just can't talk about fun because they don't know what that is.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But in Idaho, or it'd be potatoes.
In Idaho, with the potatoes,
corn. So
They don't care. Shit flies. One time I had a guy showing me his tits because he had Free Willy written across his. I can't, might not be able to say that. He showed me his, yeah. He showed me Free Willy, and that was an important moment in my life. But I mean, I could say whatever I wanted up there, and I'm not saying stuff to put people down and just completely, making fun of them like that. But there's just so many topics that were so just, you can't, if you say anything, you're going to get blackballed. And it was sort of the same in Minneapolis too. And I mean, in Minneapolis, it became the only jokes I mean, every set would have a joke about Orange Man bad. And I mean, it becomes low hanging fruit for one. I mean, like, whatever your thoughts are about Trump, like, I mean, I'm not a Trump guy. I mean, I'm not either side, but I mean, every comedian had a joke about that, and they were all kind of the same, like just waiting for it to happen. And comedy, or in Portland, it was sort of the same thing. It's like they had jokes about that, they had jokes about their cat, and they had jokes about their quote unquote unique sexual preference that everyone else seems to have.
Right, yeah.
True. No,
And
I agree.
yeah,
So,
and if you
let me ask, because we're almost at the end of the show.
oh geez.
Yeah, we're going good here.
Yeah.
But hypnotism is kind of your thing now, right? That's what you're really focused on. And so I want to back before we end. First of all, how do people get a hold of you? We're gonna also put this in
yeah, we'll put it down there, over there, up there, around, circles,
descriptions, so you can get a hold of Rusty.
Sure.
But what is kind of your ideal? What's your ideal like person who, when somebody's watching here, they're like, "Hey, I'd love it if Rusty were to hypnotize me, help me with this." What's kind of your ideal right now?
Hey, you know what? I'll go for anything. You want to get a better golf swing? I'll give you a better golf swing. You want to, there's anyone who can do stop smoking or weight loss. You can come to me if you want to, but if you've had alien encounters, I will help you relive those.
There you go.
Rob's an alien, and I've encountered him.
You know what? That's actually an interesting.
Even better.
That's there are a lot of people that probably would like for somebody to hypnotize them and pull some of that out.
That'd actually be interesting.
It's been really interesting. I've loved doing those. There's been a good amount of people I've worked with who've done those, and also erotic hypnosis, if that's something.
I want to stay time out. No, don't want to know about the erotic hypnosis. No way. I want to actually go back to the alien though.
Sure.
Because I know we're wrapping things up, but I gotta know. Are you allowed to talk about any of those alien encounters? Could you give us a story?
Oh, guys.
I mean, what I will say is the ones that have actually been brought up into something have all had very, 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 very similar experiences of what's happened and what they see. And the other ones happen to be a lot of places out, rural places, rural place, just exactly kind of what you'd expect.
So stay in the cities.
Yes.
Stay in the cities. Unless they're gonna
meet them, go to the rural areas.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be like Independence Day where you go and they tell you not to go up on top of the building, and she goes and she stands up on top of the building. What do the aliens do? They blow her up. So don't go stand on top of a building.
Right.
Maybe be in the city, but they're not gonna do that. That's only in the movie. They're gonna go out into the rural part. So if you want to hang out,
I think you need a top 10 list.
Yes.
Rusty's top 10 list of how to deal with aliens.
I think that would be awesome. That would be a great not only podcast, put up on your web, put up on your
That's
stuff.
right.
That would be so much fun for you. I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Now that what kind of royalties do I owe you now?
Nothing. You just take it and
Just
run.
do
You're
it. Have
good.
fun.
We're having a good time with everybody in this world. And,
Oh yeah.
and such amazing people just like you. You're
Definitely.
close now. You're
Thank
down in
you.
Salt Lake now. So at some point, maybe we'll meet you
Yeah, definitely.
somewhere. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
So Westy, do me a favor. Give us a shout out where your podcast is, your website, all that good stuff, so we can definitely put it out and about. Go for it.
Yeah.
Sure. Everything can be found. I have one of those gosh darn things, a link tree,
Okay.
and that has everything. That's all at rustydiamond.net.
Okay.
So that has my
net. It's right down there. You see it coming across the screen.
Yep.
Right now. There you go.
There you go. Boom. There it is.
And, hey, Rusty, it was great to talk to you again. We hope
you guys do, Chris.
in the future. And hey, man,
Definitely.
keep doing what you're doing. Love you, and we'll
You
talk
guys
to you guys soon. What up?
What up, everybody? Thanks again, Rusty.
What up?